Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. This week, we watched the September 7th, 1997 edition of In Your House, Round Zero, and the match card is as follows. We have Brian Pillman taking on Goldust in an indecent proposal match. Scott Putsky takes on Brian Christopher in a light heavyweight division match. Savio Vega takes on Crush and Farooq in a triple threat match. We have Max Mini taking on El Torito. The Godwins take on the Headbangers, the Legion of Doom, and the Hart Foundation for the vacated tag team championships. Bret Hart takes on the Patriot in a WWF championship match. And in our main event, we have the Undertaker taking on Shawn Michaels.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Jonathan Michaels.
All right, let's get into it because this was the culmination of the last couple of weeks that we have been seeing, and a lot went down.
Yeah.
So, the pay-per-view opens with a basically a how we got here between Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker. It basically opens up with how does Shawn Michaels go from being one of the most respected WWF champions of all time, and basically SummerSlam is what changed that. His
ref gig.
Right, the ref gig really did him dirty.
So sad.
Poor Shawn was blamed for the outcome of that match. And then we get into kind of a proper recap of the last couple weeks where Shawn has gotten the upper hand on The Undertaker using a steel chair. Yeah, so that's I find it interesting that the WWF Championship match is not the main event.
I was thinking that. It's so funny you say that. I was thinking that because I was like, I can't believe they're having the championship so early. I was like, are they going to fight for so long? And then I was like, wait, no, Shawn and Undertaker are still fighting, and just for fun, not for funsies, but
right.
just because they got beef.
Yeah. And I will say, like, Vince loves a first time ever kind of situation. He loves to be able to book that. So I imagine that kind of went into it. And also
I can't believe that was the first time they ever fought.
I know. Because they've both been in the company since like Shawn was like I want to say like 89, 88, 90, like as when he when he arrived, and Taker arrived in 90. So the fact that they've been like just running in the same circles and haven't crossed paths in like 7 years is pretty wild, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So that takes us into our opening contest, which is going to be the Indecent Proposal match between Brian Pillman and Goldust. If Goldust wins, then Brian Pillman has to leave the WWF. If Brian Pillman wins, he gets the managerial services of Marlena for 30 days, which you'd think it was something way more than that based on
I swear to God.
Based on the recap that we got.
Cell.
Because they went so far into the Brian Pillman potentially being the actual father of Dakota Runnels, the daughter of Marlena and Goldust.
Who will deny the allegations? Because not one.
Nobody has.
Not one person has even hinted that this might be false.
Right.
It's so weird. I'm like,
yeah. We're all just,
will the real daddy stand up?
We're just accepting that as truth.
Out.
Like that's crazy.
Like, and we're gonna fight over it. And can I say something else?
Yeah.
There was more contract writing and drawing up and stipulation sort outs for eating the can of dog food and all of that mess. And we're not going to draw up contracts about what Marlena's managerial duties would be if she has to go with Brian Pillman. We're just
Right.
gonna say he can just do
Because
whatever. He has her for 30 days. Like,
yeah,
what?
I'm sorry. I didn't know that like it was Marlena becomes a concubine for 30
Uh,
days, not like
and they were
so
like, it's
crazy.
gonna destroy their marriage, and Dakota's gonna lose her mother. I was like, is he killing her at the end?
Right. That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
what does that like
Like,
her 30 days are her last on Earth? Like,
apparently, I don't know. It
it
was
was
so dramatic and so built up, especially for something that like came to fruition like a week ago. You know what I
and
mean?
I'm saying an indecent proposal. The indecent proposal is where are the contracts? Where are that you can
And
only contact me from 9 to 5 as a manager?
right.
Like what have my lawyers contact your lawyers. I don't understand. This
I
is a word of mouth indecent. I don't.
I have a note
It's
that's just like, is
mess.
this a custody battle? Like why? Like why like
It's giving Jerry Springer. Like, are
very
you the
much so.
father? It's Maury. Are you the father? Are you
And I
not?
love how this like just started out with just like Goldust and Marlena like getting their ha-has because like Brian Pillman has to wear a dress, and then all of a sudden it like has taken on this like deeper personal I feud, and you're just like, wait.
We,
How
we,
do
we,
we
we, 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 we,
go
we.
from like let's all have a little ha 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 a man in drag, again, 1997, then it goes into I'm your child's father, and then I'm going to win this match and effectively just own your wife? Oh, like what is that? Like I'm so confused.
Very confusing. I don't understand. It's too much. I don't know how we got here. And honestly, the way that they're reacting and the way this escalated so quickly, I'm like, is he the father?
No, literally. Like the way that
Is
Marlena
he?
was like, I'll take the match, we'll do it, makes
And
me
let
be
me,
like, oh, I'm sorry. Are you gonna is this to get around like a paternity test? Like
because
what's
if I
going
was
on?
Goldust, I would have been like,
We gonna have to speak
we'll
on that.
we'll do it. We
Yeah, right.
what?
100%.
I need to see you outside. We need to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I very
Baffling.
strange.
Absolutely
Baffled,
baffling.
confused, shocked, affronted.
Right.
Where's the
S-
paperwork?
Amen. So during the match, it is confirmed, like this is like TMZ, that Marlena and Brian Pillman prior to Goldust had a relationship. So all the more just making this an even more plausible like reality. Um,
He's winning me over. I'm like, is he the like
he might
the
be.
math is beginning to math, and I'm counting backwards from 9. Like I don't
Yo, for real.
what
There was a crowd sign that says 30 days on Pillman's trophy shelf. Gross. Gross.
jail
um
jail
oh, I love on commentary the specifically JR,
girl.
when he talks about like Pillman having to wear the dress and how this like brought him to like the brink of it, like insanity. And at one
Ugh.
point like he goes, uh Brian Pillman will never be the same after what's happened to him in the last couple. I was like, baby, he had to wear like a funny costume while doing his job. Like it
For
wasn't
three
like
days.
right. We didn't like perform a sex change operation on the man. Like
Yeah, we
this
didn't do what is it? SAS. Like he's
like
fine.
right. Like the way that JR like describes it makes it
Oh,
sound like
SRS. Sorry.
yeah.
SRS. My bad.
Makes it sound like we just like communally have decided to just like trauma this man. And it's just
And
like
it's a girl, the headbangers choose to wear a dress at whenever they're
eh,
fine.
right.
I don't know what the big deal is. It's so funny to me that the frilly gold dress is like the downfall of his manhood. We then it wasn't that strong. The foundation wasn't that strong to begin with then. I don't know what you want me to say.
No, literally. Um,
If the frock was the segue to the fatherhood, I don't know. I feel like we could have gone somewhere else. Like we could have
yeah, it's just I was down to just like he's pissed about having to wear the dress and that's why he wants to fight. Like I would have been like that's fine. That's enough of a reason. Sure. Like they embarrassed you, you're mad, like let's have some beef about it. But like just turning it into what this turned into was just not on my bingo card. Like it just didn't
No,
make
because
any sense.
the Frog to Fatherhood pipeline doesn't exist.
Hmm. No, no,
Very
absolutely not.
doesn't
Very
exist.
rarely, I guess I should say. I can't say
The
that it
one this
never
is the one
exists.
time.
Um, a this match unlocked something in Jerry's brain because
Girl.
from the onset of this match and for the remainder of the night, he was an absolute menace. Like
Pig.
terrible, like just saying horrible things. Um,
Pig behavior.
the I guess in the early portion of the match, he, in reference to Marlena, says that she is a good time that has been had by all. And you're just like, how quick we are to just be like, oh no, she's dated two people in the same business, therefore,
Or
right. And you're just like, okay, the letter of it all, you need to
I swear,
relax.
oh my God.
I have a note
Ugh.
that says suplex on the ramp. Ow. Goldust performs a suplex on Brian Pillman on
Yep.
the ring ramp. Love to see it. Big metal ow.
Hmm.
At one point, Goldust has Pillman up in the ring posts, hits him with the crotch shot, and then a bunch of leg attacks, which we all know Pillman's got some skinny little legs. So the second you
Those
go
little
after
little
them,
legs.
that's
It's
it.
oh, it's a wrap.
We got a pretty resounding Pillman sucks chant from the
Yeah.
crowd.
Hmm.
So they were clearly content to continue seeing this man wrestle in a dress. Um,
Yeah,
oh, again, Jerry's just got many a line today.
he do.
In reference to Goldust, said that he should be arrested for mail fraud, which is I it's an
It's
annoying
a
thing
play
to
on
say, but
words.
I
Yeah.
will appreciate the
Double entendre.
right. Um
And because
my,
it went right over Vince's head. Like he didn't get it.
no, fully.
He was like,
Fully not.
what?
And you're
Okay.
just like,
And I was
"Oh,
like, mail fraud.
no. I have a note that just says Goldust gear so tight he got runs. Like he got runs like
Girl,
he's wearing stockings. Like many of them." I was
and
like,
check the track. We've been saying this. I was like, someone needs to resize the costume. And I don't mean that as like a body shaming thing. It just is ill fitting on him.
no,
Like
it is so tight,
the
so
legs are
point.
too short for his leg. Like it's just, and yeah,
It's
he
so
literally has
tight.
like runs up the back, literally like his tights are just,
Yeah, are revolting. Like they
we're
are
busting at the seams.
no, they're like,
It's,
we've had enough. We cannot contain this man.
we got to get out of here.
Uh,
Got to get out of here.
Marlena gets a slap in on Pillman on the outside. We do love to see that.
Thank
Um,
goodness.
uh, Pillman ends up knocking out the ref while Goldust is performing a essentially like a Russian leg sweep. Pillman takes Marlena's purse because after the referee is down, Marlena jumps onto the ring apron. Looks like she's trying to hit him with her purse. Very, very cute little like what'd
Thank
you call
you.
it? It was like a
Uh,
hard
it's
shell
like a
or
hard shell like bag or just a hard body bag where it's like literally just a structure that's like
Mhm.
I can't like make a noise, but
I get it, I get it. But Pillman ends up taking it from Marlena, hitting Goldust with it, and Brian Pillman picks up the victory. And Jerry, being absolutely heinous, is like she's in celebration, just in absolute glee. Is just like she's all yours, Brian. You can do whatever you. Stop, stop,
it was
stop.
so over the top like
Mm-mm.
cuz again, it doesn't mean she's just like your I don't know, I want to curse, but like your little like not your little fuck bag for like 30
No,
days. And I know that's
literally,
crass, but that was for what Jerry was saying, light work. Like
light work.
she's not a vessel for
Right.
whatever you got going on. Like I
No. And I
you're supposed to be managerial. That has nothing to do with managing your sexual appetite. Like I just
crazy,
don't, it just
absolutely
make me
crazy.
feel icky. I
And
don't like it.
no, and like Jerry, you are way too openly horny to be like mic'd the whole
Oh,
night. Like that, it was so gross.
there was
Like,
a
and I know that's
yeah.
like his shtick, like it really is, and it really becomes his shtick. Like it gets worse, but it's just like, sir, get
I
a
just
grip,
don't
because
like
hours after this match, he's still going on about it. So
yeah.
much so that at a later point in the evening, Vince has to be like, enough. Like, we're
Dead
please
serious
stop.
too. He was like, "We're done now." Like
Right.
it was. I was like, Vince had like a few times where I was like, "Okay, Vince." Like he was like, "Okay, we're done with that." And then he said something else too that was so funny. I can't remember. We'll get to it, I'm sure. But I and also the way that Brian Pillman dragged her out, kicking and screaming.
Hmm.
Like, because he wins and then he immediately like grabs her by the neck
Right.
and like drags
And like
her out.
throws her like out of the ring and like proceeds to like just manhandle her all the way to the back into a like waiting car, which is crazy. I didn't know kidnapping was involved in this also.
That's what I'm
Uh
saying. We needed paperwork. We needed rules. We needed
crazy.
something.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
So
Jerry
weird.
picks up Marlena's bag and reveals that in her bag was a brick, an actual brick
She's
of
a
brick and
brick.
mortar brick.
House.
Crazy.
Her bag, I will say, one more moment for the bag. It was so cute. I will
Hmm.
say, I said I will make an argument that the bag was cuter than the dress.
It
No,
definitely was. As
it
far as like Marlena's fits go, it was
not my
definitely
favorite.
no. It She definitely looked more. Now I'm thinking of that like Tiffany Pollard thing where she's like, there's something old maiden shoes.
Old maiden type of shoes.
Right. Where the
If
dress
they
felt like
belong to a beautiful woman, then I would not, she should not have grabbed them off the shelf.
no, literally. It's so
But
good. Um
yeah, it looked like a big gold lock. It was
mhm,
so cool. But yeah, the brick in it, I mean, listen, it was either going to be gold glitter or rock, who knows what, but
mhm.
she comes strapped. And she had to because she was kidnapped.
Right. And then Jerry, all the while, because he could not put his horn away,
Mm,
literally goes, Brian's been known to turn his cars into motels. And you're like, I'm so done. The implication that because the stipulation of the match was lost now means he gets to have sex with her is so crazy. Is
it's
so crazy.
bizarre.
It's just like
I
what a
feel
leap. Like what a leap. Like
leaps and bounds.
so
And there was
crazy.
a sign in the audience that said Jerry humps calves. And at
So
first I was like,
funny.
are they talking about like baby cows or they're talking about like legs, like like a little
Like
like
a dog.
a gross little dog? Like, well, and I really feel like that's what it was
It's the
because and
latter.
that is what it was giving. Like
No,
he literally was just
very
like that
that.
ugh,
I was
ugh,
like,
like
sir, you're in
ugh,
heat and you need to
ew.
relax. You
There
need
was
to stop.
the whole time we were watching, and this was 3 hours long, Xavier and I kept going, ew, Jerry,
Because
ew.
he kept going back to like he did not think of anything else other than what
They were up
imaginary
to.
things they were up to.
Oh, they
Um,
just closed the blinds at the hotel. Mm.
or like get a grip, man. Get a grip. Is this your first time? Like this is nuts.
Ugh.
Um, so again, our disgust for Jerry will continue because he doesn't stop the entire evening, but we're going to move on.
Yep.
So Scott Putsky takes on Brian Christopher in this next contest in the light heavyweight division. Jerry still won't claim this child. I have never seen someone so vehemently like reject sperm in my life. Like
And
I've
he all he
never.
wants to talk about is everyone else
Everyone else has
having
been
sex and
this.
being fathers, and he refuses to acknowledge the only any other time he's had sex and been a father. It's
Right.
so crazy.
So crazy. So crazy. Brian Christopher on the way out, first of all, looked like funfetti. Second of all,
Mhm.
comes out and like makes out with his bicep, like fully just like takes a minute, like the camera's like very on him, just like tonguing down his own arm.
He even did that specific, and I know you know what I'm talking about with the lips,
Mm.
where you like, where you
Like
like,
where you, yeah, like as if when you like in like movies where they're like, you know, someone's hot by the way they eat an apple. He thought he wanted that. Like he tried to like take a bite out of his bicep like it was an apple, and you're just
ew.
like, sir, this
It
like
was so wet.
this like masturbatory display like does not need to happen on your way to
I
the
don't
ring.
want to
Like,
see
get a
it.
grip, please.
You could
Um,
have just did a little. No, you're
right.
tongue kissing your
No,
own,
right.
like father,
Um,
like son. That's all I'll say.
that's all. Can't get anybody else to do it for him, so here we go.
Yeah,
Um, uh, the crowd starts a Jerry's Child chant. Love to see it. They
love
because it's just like it's so absurd at this point because it's been months, just months of him vehemently like denying that he's his child, all the while like being like Brian Christopher being a carbon copy of you is absurd. And yeah, absolutely not. Still haven't I have a note that says still hate his laugh. It's just it feels like I don't know what else to do, so I'm just gonna fill it with that. You know
with
what I mean?
sound.
Yeah, you know, it's just like
Yeah.
find another way to be charismatic because this is not working. Um,
Yeah.
a note that just says Jerry is horny tonight. Ew. Um, and Brian Christopher picks up the victory by accidentally, I guess, injuring Scott Putsky. Scott Putsky's on the outside of the ring. Brian Christopher does like a cross body on the collision on the way down to the floor. I guess Scott Putsky's knee gets kind of like in a wrong direction. So he is
Girl.
injured and they show it. They show his knee
Oh,
and it just looks you can kind of see either his patella was moved up because or like some large muscle group was not attached because it just didn't look right.
his
Uh,
patella was in his thigh. Like,
gross.
I just knew because I was like, I can't quite understand what's wrong. I just know that is wrong, 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 wrong.
Right.
Like
I
it
just know knees
immediately,
don't look like that.
yeah, it was like, and they were like this close. And it
Mm,
was just like, I was like, I don't know anything about anything, but I know that's not right. Like,
no.
that's bad news.
I
Because,
barely passed anatomy and physiology, but I know that's not where the patella is. Like
and, like the way, and I knew it was bad because the way the ref, because he was wearing knee pads, and the ref came over and like lifted up his knee pad and immediately let go and goes, call it.
no.
He took one look and went, oh, no, 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 no.
No, he's done.
That's
He's
not
done.
right.
Right.
Get the stretcher is bad, bad, bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that match, I guess, ended a little early. But that takes us into our next match, which is going to be Savio Vega, Crush, and Farooq. Finally, finally, we have been
Thank
waiting for
God.
this for so long. We do get a what they described as a kind of faction action montage.
It
And
was
it's
so funny, actually.
so funny because it's just like first of all, it's I love the choice of music that they make for these always because
Yeah, it
they
was just
either
like
go like really heavy like rock and this was just like heavy rock drums
just drums.
or just rave. Like
80s disco rave.
there's no like in between ever. And I also
Hmm.
find it really funny that they don't show in this montage the source of this feud, which is Farooq firing both Crush and Savio from the nation. In the
It
montage,
was
nowhere to be seen. I
no.
we get many an action shot of like the DOA like look trying to look menacing in a group. And I'm sorry, there's something so funny about like a group of like 35-year-olds like posing. You know what I mean? Like,
I am
like
too acutely aware of what you mean.
no, like fully, like, I'm sorry, like, why are these grown ass men just like hitting their like Charlie's Angels best? You know what I mean?
I
Uh,
swear, like it's the indication of hardness of the pose where it's
mhm.
just like,
No, fully, fully,
don't
fully.
do that.
But like, let's take a step back and find and we see that you're four grown men with your backs to each other, just like hitting the pose real hard. You know what I mean? Like, I understand. Like, I'm sure the photo like comes across hard. But if
And
we
they put it in
if we
black and
just do one of
white.
these, just like what's happening here? Like, I don't get it.
I
Very yeah, the montage was pretty amusing more than anything. Like, yeah,
There
it
was
was
like no words. It was just like them like
beefing. It was the DOA and the Boricuas beefing. It was the nation and everybody beefing. It was we got recaps of like the bikes getting stolen, the
mm,
lowrider that was not applicable to Puerto Ricans. Like, we got all kinds of things. But no
yeah.
like actual
What's
match
the
setup,
real
which was pretty
yeah,
funny.
what's the real beef? Yeah. And their
Right.
like promos were kind of like interwoven in there and they weren't bad. They were just it was like aggressive drums, fast clips of fighting or action shots or posing or whatever, and then
Mm-hmm.
suddenly a promo. And then it would like just did
Right.
that.
Right,
Very
right,
weird.
right. Yeah, and it just made it sound like this was going to be like a faction kind of situation instead of it being like basically like a personal feud. I mean, I guess the
Hmm.
reason we have all these extra factions is because of them getting fired. But like, I don't know, maybe say that then.
No,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like the literal reason all of these factions exist is because they were like, I hate you so much, I gotta bring friends in on this.
mhm. I gotta start my own group to combat this group.
I
Like,
have to start a motorcycle gang
mm.
immediately.
Wow.
So,
Wow, what a thought. What a thought to
yeah.
carry out.
I will say I will stand on that. I remember when Crush came out and I was like, he literally 1 week of anger founded a motorcycle gang, got motorcycles, brought them all here
No, fully.
and
Yeah.
I'll stand on that. I don't know if like it, but
The crowd in Kentucky certainly did. That's for sure. They
hmm,
loved him. They
mm,
loved him.
mm,
Um, so yeah, this match I thought was very entertaining. I think this was our first triple threat match of the pay-per-view. One of y'all can go back in our catalog and tell me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that this has been the first one that we have seen.
I think so too.
Crush jumps in to start the match. He says, I'm in the ring, vest stays on, I'm attacking. Like, okay.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay, we're here now. I thought this was a fun triple threat. I thought it
I
was
loved it.
yeah, I thought this match was fantastic.
Loved
We
it.
got a lot of close calls, a lot of just like what you want to see in a triple threat match. Like, you
Yes.
want to see them like really like stopping each other from picking up the victory, the double teams, when they're applicable. So yeah, it was great fun. Um, I have. I have a note that just says a neck breaker didn't go exactly as planned. That Savio Vega at one point, like goes to do like a swinging neck breaker on Farooq, and it just miscommunicated about what direction I guess they were going in because Savio Vega did one direction, Farooq went the other direction, which was yeah, so it just made the move look very awkward. Like, you're just like,
It was almost like they were magnets and suddenly they were, you know what I mean? They were the same
mm-hmm.
and they just like
Right. Yeah. Like shrapnel.
science.
Um, Crush and Farouk begin working together at one point and they try to both pin Savio and the ref's like, can't do that. I was like,
Just
only
one.
one of you wins. And they keep at one point when Farouk and Crush are like duking it out, they just keep beating the hell out of Savio and throwing him out of the ring. They just
Girl.
beat him up, throw him out, beat him up, throw him out. And every time one of them goes for a pin, Savio's like, no,
Not nope.
no.
Nope.
No. Yeah, and you're just
And
like,
you know what? This is the energy I expect from him.
no,
This is
fully.
Savio Vega, savvy with the hands that I missed.
Yes, this is the one I was looking
Unrelenting
for.
beef.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
So good. So Crush hits Farooq with the heart punch. Savio comes in, hits Crush with a spinning heel kick,
My favorite.
pins Crush. Savio gets the victory.
And
You weren't gonna throw him out of the ring forever. Mm-mm. No,
I
no.
love to see it. I love that Savio won this. I also there was a part earlier because I love that kick, that spinning heel kick that he does.
Mm-hmm.
He did something to like lay Farooq out or something, and Crush happened to be standing next to him, and without missing a beat, he looked at him and just whoop hit him with
Oh,
the
and
spinning heel kick. But it
so
was
good.
so sudden, it like cracked me up because
Oh yeah.
he did it at such close range and like with no buildup. He just went like, "Oh, you're right there."
Yeah,
I
fully.
love that about him. I
Mm-hmm.
love him.
So
I love that he won this.
no, same.
Love.
He needed he needed a victory.
And I love of like all the um like this has been like a long awaited match between the three of them, and I love
Right.
that Savio took the victory because to me like Crush kind of fiddled his way into the nation, but Savio like literally became a turncoat, like gave up his whole
Hmm.
thing to become one, and then to just be fired. Like he deserved this win. I'm just saying.
No, I agree. And I'm glad we finally got this match.
Me too. And it was
Because
good.
we had been like really the girlies have been feuding for quite a bit
A
and getting involved
minute.
in each other's nonsense. And I'm finally just like, can the big bads just get in the ring, please, and give us what we
Yes.
want?
Want to know what else I loved about this?
Mm,
No interference.
no interference.
No interference.
Right.
Obsessed.
Because
They just
it's one of
fought.
those matches that's like chaotic enough. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like
so true.
the
I don't
nature
need
of the
outside
match is
parties.
yeah, is chaotic enough because like
Yes.
you can't do anything without somebody stopping you essentially. So it's a
Yes.
very
So good.
disjointed match by nature. So to like I was also thankful because could you imagine just having nine extra people just on the outside like please. Please, please,
No, thank
please.
you.
No thanks. Yeah, Sergeant Slaughter
Loved it.
was not about to happen. Um all right, so in our next match, this one was an unexpected one. I did not know because it was unadvertised. We have El Torito and Max Mini. Essentially, this is just a match between little people. That's the draw. That's the gig. Yeah, and for the most
Yep.
part, it was presented pretty well, minus Jerry.
Delightful.
Yeah,
Well, because Jerry is horrible, but honestly,
yes,
like crowd received it well and not
right.
in a creepy fetishy way, if I
No,
may.
no, no, no. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought it was like, first of all, it was excellent.
Excellent. Absolutely phenomenal.
Excellent. They were incredible. And I thought like the crowd was actually not shitty about it. Like, because I was like, ooh, I'm scared for how these people are gonna be, which is rude, I know, but like
No, no, no.
I was
We
it
also have like this is not the first time like and we've talked about it in terms of like when they bring like international superstars and blah blah blah. They
yes,
don't
yes,
always
yes.
showcase other like superstars in the same manner they showcase their own.
Yes.
So I was a little nervous that it was going to be like a butt of the joke kind of thing, and I was really really kind of relieved again other than Jerry is the exception,
Well,
you
I
know,
know I
as the color commentator. I
yeah.
was pleasantly surprised
It was
because
just camp enough.
yes,
Like where they like it was funny, but not in a way that was like
punching
derogatory
down,
towards
yeah.
themselves. Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, we weren't punching
Yes.
down, which is nice. Jerry was, but that's what he does.
Hmm.
So I love that El Torito comes into he does his entrance and just starts like he comes into the ring and just starts like ramming like or going to like ram the referee and the ring announcer. So funny. I thought
Yeah,
that was
because he
great.
has like horns on his mask because he's the little bull.
Yeah,
So he was just like, oh, he acted like an actual bull, which was just
it's fantastic.
delightful. Yeah,
No,
it was so good.
I have a note that just says he's like very into his character. Like he knows his character and he like incorporates it into the match in like ways that make sense.
Yes,
Um,
it's not overdone. Thank you.
yeah.
Yes.
I have a note that says Max Mini, freak of nature,
Oh,
absolute freak of nature. That is, this man apparently is 89 pounds of dynamite. That man, like, just the moves that he pulled off, the speed at which he was running around, and he got his ass kicked a lot.
a
Like, he could
lot.
take a beating and keep on going. Love to see it.
So
Um,
good.
Torito at one point bites Minnie's ass, just like
Mm,
fully takes a chomp on like multiple occasions.
yep.
Um, and on the second occasion, Max Mini like is so annoyed at the ref for letting him do that that he kicks the ref in the shin and then goes and bites the ref's ass. It was so funny. I was just like, this is
Loved
insane.
it.
This
And
is
honestly, that ref, I forget his name, but he's around, but
mhm.
he handled this match like he was in it. He like refed it well. Like he took it well. Like he was just fun. Like
Yeah,
he was
very
involved
fun.
enough and like not in an overbearing way. I think he did such a good job.
Yeah, no, it was cute. I liked it. Well,
Because
I
they were
like
like,
the
I'm gonna bite you on the ass, and he was like, all right,
yeah, no, he's like, all right, for the bit, why not?
for the bit.
Um, at one point, Max Mini jumps on Jerry's lap, and like proceeds to like take Jerry's crown and like puts it on. All the while, JR's like, does that remind you of your boy, Jerry? You and Brian Christopher spending your Christmases together, huh?
So good.
So
Just
good.
pretend it's Brian screaming over Vince's head. Like
Right.
he was so ecstatic.
No, fully, because like JR loves to air out Jerry's laundry. I love to see it.
As he should.
Um yeah,
Oh, and a chant during Jerry's kid chant started up again while Max Mini sat on
so cute.
his
So
lap. So
funny.
good.
Um
Obsessed.
Max Mini does a springboard moonsault from the second rope outside of the ring. Stunning. Absolutely
Amazing.
stunning. First of all, the height he got is ridiculous because he's 89 pounds. So like to throw yourself like that, so impressive. Max Mini picks up the victory with a quick roll up. And it was fantastic. This was a fantastic match, unexpected, but
An
love to see it.
unexpected delight.
And then Jerry goes into this whole like spiel, and like this whole like long spiel that basically ends, or that's like Torito was going to use his winnings in the match to like buy a hotel, and he was gonna call them like mini pads. And Vince, like so done with Jerry's bullshit at this point, just goes, all of that to get to mini pads? like, like
A
so funny.
serve.
So he said all of that. He said you wasted everyone's time here for that, for a
For
mediocre joke. Thanks.
mid joke. Because I was thinking it, because I was like, where is he going with this? Because he meandered on and
Mm.
on, and I was like, that was it. And then Vince goes, that was it. And I was like,
No,
thank you.
fully.
Thank you.
Because that it was a diatribe of setup for a just a
It was a
terrible
long
punchline.
walk down a very short pier. Unnecessary.
So ridiculous. So next we hear from Commissioner Slaughter, and he is addressing the tag team match that is going to be upcoming next. And basically he goes, I have to do my job. Austin says he can wrestle. Doctors say he cannot. He's probably, what does he say? He's like more stupid than he, or like
He's got more brawn than brains or
yeah, or
something
he's
like
more
that.
brave than he is like smart or something of that nature.
Yeah.
He's like, I have to do my job, so we will not allow Mr. Austin to continue. And because he is very likely to hurt himself, he will be suspended and stripped of the tag team championships. Um,
You gotta do what you gotta do.
mhm.
I
So
hate to see it, but
that brings us
broken
in,
neck.
yeah, very much so. That brings us into our next segment, which is the relinquishing of the tag team championships. First, Dude Love comes out. Basically, he goes, there is no love, there is no joy in Dudeville today. It is with a heavy heart and a pained pancreas that he hands over the tag team championship.
So
He
funny.
credits him winning the tag team championship to Steve Austin, which is why he will not um find a replacement partner or anything of that nature. He will
And that's real as hell.
follow suit with Stone Cold. Then Stone Cold comes down to the ring. He stares down Sergeant Slaughter. JR goes to like ask a question, and Stone Cold immediately cuts him off. He's like, I want you to blow it out your ass. Stop. Um, Basically, he goes on to, air his grievances. And then he addresses Sergeant Slaughter and he's like, you want this belt? You want this belt? He throws it on the floor. He's like, drop down and give me 20. And you're
And
just like,
that's an order.
yeah, fully using Sergeant Slaughter's catchphrase against him.
God.
Oh, so it was so good. It was so
I
good, so
literally
disrespectful.
I wrote Stone
Amazing.
Cold comes down to read the dolls.
Literally,
He was
so
like,
good.
"Hi." Like,
Think you saw the last of me?
surprise, bitch. Yeah. And also, I'm so sorry. He's so gorgeous.
So fine. He looked real good.
So
It's something
fine.
about those like white jean shorts.
Hi, jean short. I've never been happy to see jean shorts ever on a man.
But here I am.
But here I am. You know what? Things change. Never say never. Crazy.
Stone Cold goes on to address Sarge, so he's like, "You make me sick," and then he goes on to JR. He's like, "You make me sick," and then just at almost random stuns JR. Just
So
gives
great.
JR the Stone Cold Stunner.
Right after JR goes like, no, like, because Stone Cold's like, you made me so sick, I want to throw up all over you. And JR was like, I actually like really wanted to see you wrestle tonight. I think everybody else does, like la la la. And for some reason, Stone Cold just decides to Stone Cold Stunner him for saying that. JR was like, I no, like I want to watch you wrestle. And he was like, do ya?
No, fully. So good.
Crazy.
So good.
Obsessed.
And then he flips off Sergeant Slaughter on his way out. Love to see it.
And takes his shirt off.
Oh, yeah, love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. That takes us to an interview with the Hart Foundation, and essentially Owen is asked his opinion on the matter, because he knows that he's the one that injured Stone Cold, and therefore Stone Cold is out for blood. So basically, the award for overusing the word crap goes to Owen Hart in this promo.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Basically, the gist of it magazine of this promo is this is crap. The Americans are happy to see something like what happened to JR happen because they're terrible, more of that. They said he then goes on to be like they should also strip him of the Intercontinental Championship and of course hand it over to me. And then he goes on to address the tag team title like picture, and it's just basically we're going to take care of business and take the titles, and short, sweet, to the point. But he really did say this is crap about 8 times. So
100 times. I will say this. I love hot take. I love when people use the term like to like when they're trying to like make people understand how close they are. They go like, I've broken bread with that man.
right.
I love the term break bread. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I love
Mm-hmm.
bread, but like when Owen was like, he shouldn't have done that to like JR. Like I've broken bread with that man. Like he's a good
Right.
man. And I was like, listen, when you break bread, you family. Like I don't know. It just like
No, very,
it
very.
conjures up such a feeling for
Mhm,
me. I don't
mhm,
know what it
mhm.
is, but I love the
No, I
term break
agree. I
bread.
like it. So that takes us into the fatal four-way elimination match for the tag team championship. So instead of Dude Love and Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Headbangers have now been added to this match, allowing them an opportunity to win the tag team championships.
Love.
Um, we get kind of mini promos from the rest of the participants, the gist of it of each of them. So the Headbangers, the world is our mosh pit, the Godwins, Steve Austin's not so dumb for bowing out, and LOD should have bowed out also.
Mm,
LOD's is I'm gonna stick the bucket where it don't shine if you bring it into the ring. So that was the three promos back to back to back, essentially.
love.
Um, and during this is when Vince addresses Jerry and he's like, please stop talking about Pillman and Marlena. Like, because he just wouldn't stop. Like, he just fully was
Relentless.
like, okay, enough. He fully had to put his like boss hat on while on commentary and be like, you are doing the absolute most, and it is disgusting. Like,
And also because now it's just the two of them
right,
because JR is in the back with his Stone Cold Stunner injury. And so he was like, oh, no, no. If it's just going to be the two of us, this has to cease immediately
right,
because I can't do this the rest of the night.
right,
Let me be
fully.
clear.
Jerry was, or sorry, Vince was really, really saying what we were thinking this evening.
It
Um,
happens. It
and
happens.
on occasion, a broken clock is right twice a day. So like
And you know what? That is the best. Thank you for like personifying that feeling because I was like, hate to say it, but like a broken clock is right twice a day.
it's true. It happens. You
Oh,
never
I feel
know.
so
Every
much.
now and again, something heinous or broken says something true. It's just,
Oh, I feel so much better. Thank
uh,
you.
no, yeah, of course. Vince, for all his infinite wisdom on commentary, goes, the headbangers are exciting, and the Godwins are whatever they are. And you're just like, okay, way to bury the Godwins.
And he said it like so casually, like Godwins are whatever they are, and
No, he didn't.
like
He did not mean anything of it. He just fully had no adjectives. Like he had
nothing to
no.
say.
No, it was just like a snowstorm in his head while he was like trying to think of something. He's
A
like,
white
they
out,
are
yeah.
whatever they are, and you're just like, okay.
But honestly, like tea, like
They're like your like number two heel team right now, like
I
behind the Hart
know.
Foundation, and you're like, whatever they are.
Okay, but Vince feels the same way as me, and it's like they're nothing without Hillbilly Jim. So they are whatever they are. I don't
No,
know.
yeah. I thought this match was another great one. Honestly, as far as like the wrestling goes, this pay-per-view was pretty,
It was
it was
turd.
great. I loved
I
it.
loved this pay-per-view. And
Hmm.
we like unexpectedly watched this because we were not supposed to watch this, but we had to
No, fully.
unexpectedly.
Yeah, so yeah, for you all, you were going to see the next episode be September 8th. And you're going to be like, "Hey, that's weird. The last episode of Monday Night Raw before that is August 18th." Turns out on Peacock, if there was an episode in between the two, it's gone. I don't know what happened that
Bye.
they felt the need to pull it out of the library.
I gotta Google this weird when we're done.
Right, crazy, because there realistically should have been one more Monday Night Raw and then this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But I went to go look for it, gone. So we were like, okay, we're going into the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
But excellently like wrestled like
Yeah.
people.
Oh my
All
God.
the
I'm so glad.
matches, like from bell to bell, were great.
So
Um,
good. I love this. I love a
um,
fatal four way.
so good. You mentioned that when you realized that it was a fatal four-way, you were like, oh, anybody gets to tag anybody. I love
It's my
that.
favorite because I like because I'm still new to wrestling. I sometimes forget what the names of the matches mean in terms of the stipulations.
Right,
So I knew it was like four teams, but I couldn't remember if it was the one where you could literally tag anybody, like you could tag two of the same people in at the same time, or like
right.
you could whatever. So when they put up the rules, I was like, oh, oh my God, it's my favorite. I love when they
It's
do these
so fun.
ones.
So
It's
fun.
so
This
fun.
match was excellent.
So good.
We'll get into the how the teams get eliminated. So, the Godwins bring the slot bucket into the ring. Yes, they do. And
Bad.
LOD use it for all that it is worth. They
End
basically
period.
flatten the slot bucket on the Godwins, getting themselves disqualified in the process. So, there's that.
And
But
it was
if
worth it.
no, fully. But if we go back to the promo from the Legion of Doom earlier, they're like, yeah, the tag team titles are important, but we still have beef that is unsettled. So kind of equally as important, which should have been our first clue that like they were willing to throw this out the window to get their licks in.
And I
Um
respect that because I can get the
Sometimes the
tag team
beef is bigger.
titles. Yes, I can get the tag team titles any old time here and there. But like the beef is right now.
Yeah, rarefied.
It's
Rarefied beef.
period. Thank you.
Um I love this. The headbangers eliminate the Godwins essentially with like a high low. One takes the knees, one takes the top.
Hmm.
So good. Love to see it. Jerry has a funny, this one's a funny line, where he goes on, he's talking about the Hart Foundation, and he talks about there being like 6,000 Canadians all named Hart, and they'd all be like gathered around like a tiny television in Stu Hart's dungeon or whatever. And I
Yeah,
was
his
like, yeah,
delivery was also so good because he
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
they're,
yeah.
they're up there in Canada, all those 6,000 Canadians, all last name Hart. Like it was just
Right.
the delivery was really, really good
Hmm.
too.
Um, so Owen misses the spinning heel kick, hits the bulldog. Owen or Austin comes down to the ring, looking great.
Mm,
And so good. He comes down to the ring while the referee's dealing with some chaos, stuns Owen. Love
period.
to see it. And then the headbangers quick jump on Owen, get the pinfall, and are the new tag team champions, which is great. I love this.
Obsessed.
I love the
Love.
headbangers, as we know. As we know. So this was great. Doesn't matter to me how they got it. They got the gold.
I don't
Works for
care.
me.
I
They don't
love
care
it.
either. They don't
Nope.
care
And that's
either.
the best part. They were like, they capitalized. They're like, Stone Cold took him out. I'm gonna just put my little arm over him. And what?
Fantastic. So
And
good.
I love the lick back for Stone Cold because he wasn't going to let them get the tag team belts back after he just had to forfeit it. You're crazy for that.
Right.
You're
Hmm.
crazy for that. And the Headbangers winning the tag team titles, I mean, they've been working for a minute. And the way they like dove into the crowd, they were like
So good. Oh,
living
they
their
took the
best lives
celebration out into the crowd and then backstage, like with
at the
hot dogs.
concession stand.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
they
at the
were.
concession stand, girls with like their tits
Oh
out.
yeah, the one girl with the brat top.
Oh,
So
yeah, she was
good.
wearing like that neat the brat green top with her tits
Hmm.
out, and I said, "It's Brat. She's
No,
so
fully,
Brat.
fully,
Brat
fully,
Summer is
fully.
forever, baby."
100% talk that talk. Let's go. Um, so fantastic. The Headbangers are your new tag team champions. Can't wait to see
Love,
that. Love it.
obsessed.
So that takes us into a backstage segment where JR is dealing with the doctors and talking to Sergeant Slaughter. And he's just like he's mad. JR is big mad. I haven't heard such language
Since the mic drop.
from a broadcaster since I guess our podcast. So like he's basically like you can't trust the son of a bitch. Like
I love
and
how calm he was about it. He was like,
mhm.
he just untrustworthy and terrible, and the people love him, but he's just the worst person I've ever met in my life.
No, fully.
With this big,
Big giant like Ziploc bag of melting ice.
the 2 quart Ziploc freezer bag on
Fully.
his neck, like,
Fully. So good. And he's like, and you could tell Vince too. He's like, if this happens again, like he might not
I'm
see me
out.
around anymore. He's like, I did not come here to get beat up. Like that's not what I do.
Bye.
So
And
we love to see
it's
it.
true. And this is like he's been getting beat up. He got mandible clawed by Mankind during his
Hmm.
interview. He got screamed at by Stone Cold in the hotel room, and now he's just getting Stone Cold centered for no reason. I get it.
Insanity.
He needs to
Insanity.
hire Rick Rude.
Shoot. He needs to hire somebody. China, get somebody.
Somebody.
He needs help.
He do.
Um, so that takes us into our WWF Championship match. So we get a recap between the Patriot and Bret Hart. Basically, we go over the Patriot getting that like fluke victory, essentially. And then the I, North American war between Canada and
Mm.
America that
Hmm.
has continued since then. We get a small Patriot promo with Sonny. Basically, he's like, I beat you once, I'll do it again. So that was the gist of it. I thought it was a fine
Yeah.
promo. He didn't like take it too
Yeah.
long. He didn't
He's fine.
like stammer. We're good. Fine. An acceptable promo. Next we get a Bret Hart promo, essentially the same thing as always. American fans suck. And I'm gonna kick the crap out of this guy and keep my title. Bing bang boom. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I haven't known Bret is the aggressor in this match. He comes out hot.
Hmm. Schwangin.
And I have another note. We've talked about this before. Like, why is the Patriot wearing a mask? first of all,
Thank you
if you
so much.
if you were to just like look at the guy, like he looks like you're just like all American dude. He could still very much so be the Patriot, and probably more so if he wasn't wearing like a luchador mask.
Thank you.
Because he literally looks like you're like just like married 30-year-old with two small children that lives next door. Like
Nuclear,
he's
it's giving nuclear family. Like
yes.
it's
So I'm
giving
just like he could just do that because he does have the face for it, and just it's fine. He could just
it
as easily
makes
be the
no
Patriot.
sense.
Especially if you're going to use his real name the entire time anyway. So it's like what like is he the Patriot like hyphen Del Wilkes? Like what is it? Like I don't know. It just like
Eh,
to me it just seems like an out of place costuming choice for somebody you're trying to like essentially make your like I identify with that guy because he's American, you know?
yes.
So I just feel like it's an unnecessary move for somebody who looks very apple pie.
Period. I totally agree. I totally agree. I don't understand it. I never will. I never have. I hate it actually. But what would have kind of been a serve is if they did do the mask and like okay, so there's which Batman is it? It's one of the graphic novels, but it basically like Batman's too old to Batman anymore, and he has like the end of the graphic novel. I don't know, nerds in the comments help me. Like he basically everyone goes out like younger vigilante, but they all go out in Batman masks, so you never know who's actually Batman, but they all
Mm,
do the same kind of service, like to help him because he's old.
heard.
It would be kind of a serve if they the Patriot match mask like switched to different people and you never knew who it was. It was just like these are the Americans like fighting Canada. Like, do you know
Ooh,
what I mean? Like
I get that.
more like the faces of America, the bodies willing to fight for it. Like, I don't
Mhm.
know. Like that's kind of a stretch, but I just like randomly thought of that. Like why if the mask had been more interesting or more of a
Right.
point, I don't know. I don't
Mm.
really get it because it also looks like itchy.
It
I know he hates wearing that mask. I actually am wondering if they're gonna reveal his face soon because they were kind of teasing it a little in the promo. And I
mm.
was like, maybe he hates that mask and he's like, let's just and they're saying his name more. I'm like, maybe they're just gonna give up the ghost and like
Right. Give us a actual yeah. I'm here for it. I haven't noticed this is a very like typical Bret Hart like style match. Like very
mm-hmm.
methodical. Like it is
Yeah.
very thought out, no wasted motion. The man is not going to just do things for thrills. Everything has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we get the ring post figure four, classic of heel Brett. Love to see it. The bulldog comes down to ringside, and we're like, okay, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
The Patriot knocks Brett into the bulldog because the bulldog ends up on the ring apron.
Mm-hmm.
Patriot hits the Uncle Slam, and then Vader comes down and attacks. Love that mess. And then Vader throws Bret Hart into the ring steps. And we're just like, what's happening? Because at this point, normally a match would get thrown out for this.
Swear. Oh
But
my God, swear.
I think the logic of the referee is like, I let his man come down and do some damage inadvertently, so I'm gonna let the other guy's man come down and do some damage, and we're gonna keep it going.
I can't remember like why is it Vader? I can't remember if I like forget something that crucial that happened. Maybe I just black out everything that has to do with the Patriot. But why would Vader come down and defend him?
I honestly it could it might be because we missed a week, but I don't know.
Oh, T. I forgot we're like living with a blacked out memory. I
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
so strange because I was like, I love to see Vader, but I don't know why you're here. But okay,
Right. Sure. Yeah, exactly. And to help the Patriot of all people. Very
crazy.
interesting. Brett wanted the DQ victory because he looks at the ref and he's like, hello, like are we really still doing this? And the ref's like, no, get in there. It's like, no, no, no. We're not just gonna call it just because you want to pull your little hijinks. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the this was a bad night for the refs. The ref gets knocked out in
Girl,
this match also. The Patriot hits another Uncle Slam. The ref is late to count because he's recovering from his face being broken. And Brett just gets the foot on the bottom rope. Just
I love when they do that.
so quick. The Patriot goes to do a sharpshooter on Brett, and of course Bret reverses it because you're not gonna get him with that nonsense. It's
Yeah,
just
like you're
true.
crazy for that. I literally wrote Brett reverses the sharpshooter. Duh.
Duh. Bret
Duh.
Hart retains because nobody puts on the sharpshooter like Bret Hart.
Duh.
And then Bret Hart kind of loses it and just starts beating up the Patriot like further. He's like, it wasn't enough to win. It was alluded to like earlier in the match that when Bret sees the Patriot, he's envisioning all of the American fans. So I think the after beating uh of the Patriot was kind of his like message to them. Uh, it's just kind of like really hammering it home. Bret Hart hits the Patriot with a pile driver, and then chokes the Patriot out with Old Glory. He's just like, thanks, love, yeah. I mean, we do what you got to do, I guess.
The
Uh,
symbolism.
Poor Pat Patterson gets hit for his troubles, trying to break up this mess.
He loves
Uh,
to get hit for his troubles.
no, he really does. He really do be throwing his chin in there. So and then they catch up to Bret backstage with the Bulldog. And essentially he's like, America better get used to the fact that they're all losers. He's like, all of you. Stone Cold, loser. Shawn Michaels, loser. Patriot, added to the list. Big old loser. And you're like, okay, sure.
And he goes, they're all losers and they're all Americans. Honestly, it was funny. Like, it was
Yeah,
kind of hysterical. He goes, Shawn Michaels, loser. Loser. Like,
right.
it was just good. It was just
Yeah.
funny. I don't know. I got really irritated during this match because they kept saying, no, or at the end, like, no one's ever come this close to taking the title from Bret. Girl, what are you talking
I
about?
was like,
That's just a lie.
fully alive because you don't become a five-time champion without losing it four
Without
times.
losing it. I was like, people have actually been closer, as in successful. What are you talking about? Like Bret Hart's biggest contender in his entire wrestling career is the Patriot. You are literally crazy.
Right.
What are we talking about? I think that's why I get so irritated. Like they're making it like Bret Hart's never had a solid storyline before, and this is like juicy and delightful. And I'm like, wait,
Where?
hello? Like, what
Where?
are we talking about?
Mm-mm.
And I'm still new. I haven't even like I've seen like glimpses of the older stuff before we started, but like
Uh-huh.
even I know that's crazy.
Right. Right. Yeah, they were really like
Ridiculous.
trying to build this man up, and it's just like I to me it just feels like too fast. Like it's not believable because it's like you build up like a sympathy and a like like a fandom behind a person because you watch them do their like trials and tribulations.
The
He hasn't
hero's
had
journey.
he hasn't had any. So it's
Nope.
like it feels very weird for him to be like just thrust into this position and you're just like you're telling me that this is the case, but I don't feel like that's the case. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Agree.
you're
And
really like over hammering the point home, and the
mhm,
more you do it, the less believable it feels.
100% because it's a lie. I think that even if they'd sold it, like he still knew and he was able to like work his way up against Bret Hart, not work his way up because he
Yeah,
didn't, but like he's still put on like a good showing for the title shot.
right,
Like that's real. That's true. Let's
right,
stick with that. Not like no one's ever come this close to beating Bret. Girl, you're crazy for that.
right. Really crazy. Uh, so that takes us into our main event.
The
That's going to
best.
be Taker and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. We get a recap video. My favorite line from it is a promo from the Undertaker, which is basically he says you signed your death warrant in blood. Love it.
Mm,
Love to see it.
mm.
We get a backstage interview with Shawn Michaels, and he's like, I don't rest in peace for anybody. Tonight, the legend of the Undertaker comes to an end. You're
Mm,
like, okay, sure.
mm-hmm.
Love to see it. This match, phenomenal,
Oh my God. You would
phenomenal.
have think they wrestled every day for the last 7 years together.
Right,
The chemistry is off the charts.
right.
Crazy.
And they have
So good.
they have some great matches like upcoming, and then after Shawn Michaels' retirement years and years down the line, they still have this chemistry. It's still that good because the matches between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25 and 26, you ask like most people, like those are regarded as like perfect matches. Like
Ooh, I just got
perfect.
chills. Ooh,
Um and like they work so well together. Because the way that Shawn sells is so perfect for an opponent like The Undertaker because
yes.
it is so believable. It is so like even when he is overselling to high hell, it is so believable. It's so good.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
To me, Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, it's like Shawn Michaels gives Final Girl. Like
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker is like the unrelenting, like slow
Serial.
walk
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
killer with the chainsaw and whatever. And Shawn Michaels is just for some reason he's so resourceful and he's scrappy. And even though he
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be able to like fight up against this person, he's the final
He is the
girl.
final girl.
He's so final
And it's funny you
girl.
say that because the Undertaker, when talking about like where he came up with like his character, he's like, I watched a lot of like Michael Myers and like he channeled his character after horror movie like
Yes, it shows.
classics. So it yeah, it's just funny that like we now have that juxtaposition where you really
Yes.
see it, where you're like,
Yes.
oh, that's it coming to life. I love
It's
to see
coming
it.
to
No,
life. And like,
100%. What's
yeah.
that one the main survivor in Scream? I don't remember her name, but like
I was gonna say it gives like almost like campy
mhm.
horror, like
Right.
because Shawn Michaels is such a like whips the hair,
Right.
sells like is so scared, and then it like
Right.
has to make a move, like
Mhm.
capitalize. It's so good, so
Amazing.
good.
We're gonna go back to the entrances a little bit. Shawn
Oh yeah,
Michaels, we see a sign that says HBK Shake My Way. Love to see it.
love
Very,
to
very
see it.
accurate sign. One of the signs that just again saying what we're feeling out loud.
Yeah,
Um,
that girl was so mean. There was like they showed these two girls, they had no signs, but they were just staring at him entering, and they were going and I was like,
literally
that is so me and the
fully,
girls.
fully. Shawn Michaels' pyro was late, which was just kind of amusing.
So funny.
And he was just like, ah, well, you know what? Whatever.
And then when it
Um,
was going, he literally had time to stand up and just go like,
yeah, just to be yeah, just to play it up because he's such a ham. Then the Undertaker's entrance starts. We get like this like thunder rolling in,
ooh,
blackout,
love.
gong. Love to see it. So good. So good. Um HBK using the ref as a shield, so funny. So
I love when
funny.
they talk a big game and then they get out there and they pee their pants when
No,
Undertaker they're like,
fully,
I'm gonna
fully.
put you in the grave. And then they're like they're so
No,
scared.
so funny. Um uh the Undertaker essentially immediately knocks out the ref. This one gets an award for just most refs incapacitated.
Slain. Yeah.
Yo, yes, most refs slain. So good because yeah, the ref gets knocked out immediately. HBK is like, oh, okay, sick. You're on that crazy shit today, aren't you? So I'm done. I'm gonna go. So he tries to leave,
hmm
only to meet Sergeant Slaughter and the Crimson Chin, like right in the right into the ring ramp, and he's like, you better turn around. You better get back in there. You're not
Love
shirking
it.
your responsibilities this evening.
hmm
Um, the Undertaker then proceeds to take the referee's slain body and throws it at Shawn Michaels. Just takes
The,
the dead body of the ref and chucks it at Shawn Michaels on the outside of the ring. Crazy.
I cannot emphasize how crazy this was to just view because it was like the ref was like a couch cushion. Just
Crazy. Could not
balling,
his
ball his
life could
life.
not have mattered less.
It's so true. He's like he literally looked for a problem. It was like body, sure, bet.
You'll do. You'll do.
Crazy.
So funny. So of course this takes Shawn and the Undertaker out onto the like fighting up the ramp. I thought I have a note that's just it's so funny that HBK goes for the set door and like tries to open it, like tries to
Oh
like
my
he's like
God.
banging on
Again,
again,
it's
final girl.
horror. Final girl, like hello. Like, and then the neighbors are in on it. Like, who knows?
Oh, so
So
funny.
final girl core.
The
He
Undertaker
gets thrown into the plants.
so ridiculous. The Undertaker press slams Shawn Michaels on the stage.
Ow.
Crazy, crazy,
Ow, ow,
crazy.
ow,
Because
ow.
he himself is 7 feet tall. So add like 2 more feet because the your arms are about 2 feet. Like yeah, that's like not getting drops from 9 feet in the air onto a essentially a metal floor.
Wow.
Amazing, truly amazing.
Oof, God.
Um, and then the Undertaker punches Shawn Michaels all the way down the ramp, all the way down the ramp. This was the oversell that I mean
Yes.
is that it was one punch and Shawn from the top of the stage falls all the way down to the ringside area.
So good. And I
So
said, I
good.
was like, Undertaker could have walked over and went boop, and Shawn still would have fallen
No,
away.
fully,
And that's
fully.
what I love about him.
No, 100%. The Undertaker chokes out HBK with some camera cords and essentially then starts beating Shawn Michaels like over the French announce desk.
Yeah.
Um just yeah, of course, being absolutely ridiculous. So a new ref is sent down while Shawn Michaels is still like on the outside just like fending for his life,
Hmm.
and he addresses the new ref and he's like, he's killing me, like you need to disqualify him, like he's killing
Yeah.
me.
Call the
And
match. I'm going to die.
no, and then the referee's literally just like, no, the match hasn't started, so you need to get in there to make it official. Like,
Oh, yeah. By the way, match hasn't started.
no, fully.
Oh, by the
This,
way,
yeah,
match hasn't started.
no, just all of this has just been pre match. So they both get the Undertaker's in the ring. The ref calls for the ring the bell to start the match. Shawn Michaels sneaks in, chop blocks the Undertaker, starts getting his licks in, because clearly it's the only way you're gonna get it done. It's the only way you're gonna get it done.
Hmm.
Um, I have the kicks in the corner from the Undertaker to Shawn Michaels, where Shawn Michaels like laid over the corner essentially.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like on the top ropes, right?
So
Oh my
yeah,
God. And he's
and
like
yeah,
bouncing him.
basically, and then just ends up in that like straddling the rope situation, which is no bueno for anybody.
Yikes. The
um
Nutcracker.
Literally. HBK tries to leave again. The Undertaker grabs him by the tights, exposing his little booty to the world.
Thank
um
God.
Amen. Taker ends up with a chair and he tries to use the chair. The second ref gets hit with the chair. So there's that. That
It's
allows
giving like the cop comes to help and you're like, oh God, I'm finally saved. And then they get shot or
right.
something.
No, fully. Again,
God
very horror
forbid in the
movie.
movie, horror movie, not in real
um,
life.
no, yeah.
Sorry.
Uh, fiction. This is fiction.
Fiction, the movies, the helpful neighbor. I don't know, whatever.
Hey, literally. But this allows Rick Rude to come down ringside and he throws Shawn Michaels some brass knuckles. Love to see it.
And
Um,
throws them like, bing, like far.
mhm.
And he just, boop. I was
Amazing.
like, I half expected him to like throw it, like overshoot it.
Over and just boop somebody in the head with some brass knuckles. That'd be crazy.
Rick Rude, what I love about him is he just boop the brass knuckles and leaves.
No, yeah, yeah,
Leaves.
yeah.
He doesn't need to see the outcome. He's like, I'm not actually invested. I just get paid to give you a little leg up, but I'm not gonna stand out here and watch. Like, I gotta go.
No, 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 no.
And
I
that
got
is
other
so me.
insurances to attend to.
Yeah. So
So
relatable.
of course, Shawn Michaels uses the brass knuckles, hides them in his trunks, um, and then Triple H and China come down with a new referee. They said,
Hey.
"Come on down."
Mm-hmm.
Um, China looked great. Uh, I have a note that just says, "Ahmed Johnson, that's a choker." Um,
Oh.
in regards to China's little studded moment, so good, so good. Not me dragging Ahmed Johnson, not even on this
I
pay-per-view
was like, I
injured.
was so confused. I was like, what? I was like, was Ahmed Johnson there? And then I got what you said, and I was like,
Listen, it
I'm telling
was
you, he got kicked out of the nation because he went a little too crazy with that
with the choker.
choker. I don't know, but whatever.
So crazy. When Shawn Michaels doesn't get the victory, Triple H and China beat up the new referee because why not?
Yep,
China and Triple H throw Taker into the ring steps, and then beat up Earl because why not? Poor guy.
Earl.
Someone in the crowd, someone very vocal in the crowd, very homophobic, very, very, very loud. Uh,
So shocking. Like, I hate that it shocks me still because, like, I don't know, like, grow up. I don't know, but like,
right,
I
right.
just you know what? Actually, I don't feel bad that it shocks me still because it should be shocking. It's disgusting. I don't
Mhm.
know. Like, it just really like relentless,
Relentless F slur,
relentless
relentless F slur.
F slur, queer, like something
So,
about like doing stuff
so
to the ass, like literally
right. And he
crazy.
was so loud. Like it sounded like he was mic'd. I was like, is this bitch on commentary?
Swear,
Damn.
Jerry,
Right.
like
Like I was like, damn, all right, you got some
over and
strong
over. Ooh,
feelings over here.
I almost just knocked my laptop off this desk. I was just like, oh,
Str- he
crazy.
had
I
strong
hate it.
feelings and needed them to to be known.
Oof.
I guess to each their own. Sure, you
It's
heinous
giving
beast.
repressed. Like,
No, fully, it
hmm.
usually is, in my experience.
Yeah, yeah.
Those who came at me hardest for being gay were also
Then
hardest
came
for
at
me.
you
So,
hardest.
so let's just put it that way. Um, so your internalized homophobia is showing, but it's fine.
Whatever.
Taker grabs the brass knuckles from Shawn Michaels' tights. Alarming.
I, which by the way, I was like, it's been such a long period of time since he used the brass knuckles. I forgot they were in his pants, which also means he wrestled the whole time with brass knuckles in his pants, which is crazy.
Usually, if you
But
use the brass knuckles, that's how it goes.
yeah, but like, yeah, I just didn't expect Undertaker to lay him out, and then
And
I
like
just saw
reach
him
in
like
and
lift.
grab. Like I was like,
I
oh,
was like, oh, I was like, what's he doing? And then I was like, oh, the brass knuckles,
oh, the brass
the brass
knuckle.
knuckles, the brass
Um,
knuckles. Okay.
he hits Shawn with them, then Hunter with them, and then a new ref comes out and it's just like, enough. I'm throwing this
Ken
out.
White. I wrote his name down because I was like, what a serve. He walked out and said, okay, all of you are the foolery
Is
is
too
finished.
much.
This is the type of hateration and holleration Mary J warned me about.
Literally.
We're done.
Literally.
Ken White was like, we are done. Call this match. And I
Amen.
said, period. I was like, thank you,
So,
Ken, for your service.
it's crazy. Oh, it's Tim. Tim White.
Tim White. I don't know why I wrote Ken. Sorry.
Oh, no, no, all good, all
Tim.
good, all good. I only know because he's friends with like lots of the wrestlers. Fun facts.
I'm like, gotta
Um,
change that in my notes.
crazy, crazy.
Thank you, Tim.
China grabs a chair. HBK gets kicked in the face when he tries to use said chair. Um, Triple H gets a tombstone for his worries. And then they let out the entire locker room. They said, we're done with the officials, we're done with the refs. They emptied out the entire locker room in their civvies just to separate these two.
I have never seen this before.
Yeah, crazy,
I've
crazy,
never
crazy.
seen because I was like, what is happening? The entire I was like, why is everyone come out here? And Xavier explained because like if the refs can't do it, if whoever security can't do it, whoever they just now the boys are coming out.
Right,
The locker room's coming out.
right.
I and I was saying I love to see the wrestlers like in the wild, like in their
Yeah.
normal clothes, because I'm like,
It's
look,
like
oh,
that Mean Girls line where it's like seeing your teacher out in public is like seeing a dog walk on its
walk on the
hind
hind
legs.
legs. Yes, 100%. It was so great. It took every wrestler
That was
in the
on the
locker
card tonight.
room
Yep.
to hold the Undertaker back.
And it
And
didn't
that's
even work.
hot. It
It
didn't
didn't
even
even
work.
work.
It didn't even
It
because
didn't
then
even
he
work because the
flew
Undertaker breaks free and then
soaring
leaps
flying.
over. And I described it akin to in The Lion King when Scar jumps over the fire to attack Simba. It was that. It
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 was
was
that.
you could do those two scenes shot for shot and they'd look pretty damn similar, not
It's
gonna lie.
very similar. Whoa.
Amazing. So Undertaker leaps, takes out like the other half of the locker room that wasn't holding him back, lands on Shawn and the rest of the locker room and just is trying to get at Shawn. Just nothing is going to stop that man. And I love to see it. And basically we are just left with the kind of um ensuing chaos that was that. So Shawn, Hunter, and China make their grand escape, and that leaves the Undertaker in the ring, and he's like, "We're not done. I don't. This is not over. This is
I
not
love
over."
love it. I cannot believe that was the first time they fought.
I know.
It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible from top to bottom. Not one point where I was like, this is weird, or like I was like, ooh, like I don't know.
Right. And
Incredible.
because was so inconclusive, there will be
Mm.
more. There will be
And
another.
I sometimes okay, I was gonna say I always love when it's inconclusive, not true. Because the way you guys all know
Sometimes
the
it
way I
is
talk
very
to
stressful.
Xavier, the way I talk to Xavier sometimes I'm like, why did that happen? Just tell me. And he'll be like, okay, like calm down. Like, I don't know.
I was like, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. And I'll be like, oh, you're right, I'm sorry. I'm just lashing out. I'm so
So
upset.
good. So
Oh,
good.
so amazing. I can't wait to see what happens. And
Yeah.
we skipped a week, so we're closer and closer to seeing Kane. Hello. Ding
Hello.
dong.
So next we have a couple episodes of Monday Night Raw. And then we have One Night Only, which is in the UK. It's like
Oh
a
yeah.
one-off like British pay-per-view. I believe the main event of that one is going to be Shawn Michaels taking on the British Bulldog for the European Championship.
Oh fun.
So we'll see, we'll see. And then after that, there's going to be lots of moving parts really after that.
So
But that's
many.
where they leave us, and this has been another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. Thank you for listening, watching, subscribing, all of those things wherever you find us. We will catch you on the next one.
We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.